Teaching Heart Institute's SEL In Focus Leadership Training Program. The tree with the deep root system is going to be a symbol we're going to be using throughout the program, and I'll explain more about that later in the PowerPoint. The best way to lead is always by example, and that's so true for social emotional learning. Whether you're in front of your students in your classroom or in front of your colleagues at a school meeting or a district-wide meeting, the best way to lead is through modeling. And the best way to teach social emotional learning is through modeling. The number one way to gain more ability to model SEL and to lead is by developing your own social emotional intelligence. And that is what this leadership training is going to be focused on. This is a picture of me when I was 5 years old and in kindergarten. And this is a picture of me when I was in 4th grade as a 10-year-old. My ability to lead and to teach and model social emotional learning really developed when I chose at 32 years old to get into therapy, both individual and group therapy. That support allowed me to go inward and to really look at the challenges. And some of them had pain or hurt attached to them, but to look at them and not only heal them, but to mine the gold, to gain the value or the benefits out of them, and to gain strength from them and wisdom. This is what really allowed me to grow as an SEL leader, this ability to go inward. And this is what I want the leadership training to support you in, is mining the gold in all your challenges and deepening your root system so you can really lead from a profound place. The main goal of the leadership training is to develop and deepen your own social emotional skills and intelligence so you can be an impactful SEL leader in your classroom, your school district, and beyond. I'll be creating this leadership training this year. Based on your needs and feedback, the leadership training will change and evolve each month. This is the first time I'm doing this leadership training. It's new. So I have a clear vision of where we're going and what I want to cover, but it's going to be created as we go, and you're going to have some impact on that creation through sharing what you need and want in the program and what's working for you and what's not. And as a result, that participation is going to allow the price of you, is going to allow the price to stay lower for this first year of training. Topic of exploration: creating a safe container in which to explore, learn, and grow as a group. Using your challenges in your classroom, school, and school district as the catalyst to learn and grow socially and emotionally. Discussing our societal and personal roadblocks to SEL growth and expansion and ways to work with them. Focusing on how imperfection is perfection in teaching and modeling SEL and in living life. Exploring your beliefs and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors, especially related to social emotional learning. Deepening self-awareness, mindfulness, and self-compassion. Mining the gold in your challenges and resistance. Honoring the wisdom in your reactivity and resistance. Learning to work with another person's reactivity and resistance SEL. This is so important as a leader. Increasing your SEL by exploring your triggers, emotional triggers, and what they have to teach you. Learning to deal effectively with conflict and using it as a growth process, another important topic. Sharing and acknowledging each group member's strengths and gifts, and exploring the critical role of authenticity and vulnerability in connecting deeply and in teaching and modeling SEL. What's involved in the training? 2 Zoom meetings per month, an hour and 1.5 hours long. And I'll be allowing you to vote on what time period during the week and during the day is best for you. So before you get into the training, you'll know whether the timing of these meetings are going to work. But we're going to make the meetings work for everyone and to work for your life. We'll focus on a topic of exploration over 2 weeks of time. You'll practice skills, be observing, learning about yourself, self-reflecting, and journaling on the topic or skill over the 2 weeks. And then there'll be interactions at meetings. And a short paper focused on what you learned and how you grew over the year. How does change happen? Change happens from seeing and honoring the gifts in our challenges, resistance, and reactivity. Change happens through meaningful connections, support, vulnerability, and authenticity that allows us to honor and accept our humanness and imperfection and see the gifts, beauty, and brilliance in them. What will you receive? 2 Zoom meetings per month, support of 9 other teachers and me, 2 one-hour private coaching sessions over the year, a safe community in which you can learn and grow socially and emotionally and expand your SEL leadership. This is the most important part of the program, is that community of support. Online support from me between meetings. Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback of the NFL, had lost his brother to suicide back in the spring. And recently he came out and talked about his depression related to that. And a sportscaster called him weak. And from that came an article in which they interviewed Dak in USA Today. This is what he said about being a leader. Being a leader is about being genuine and being real. He said, before I even lead, I have to make sure my mind is in the right place to do that and lead people to where they want to be. I think that is important, to be vulnerable, to be genuine, and to be transparent. So true. Prescott told Dallas reporters on September 10th, if I wouldn't have talked about those things to the people I did, I wouldn't have realized my friends and a lot more people go through them, and that they are as common as they are. And that's one thing that I hope in this group, is that you as teachers and educators and school counselors can come together and feel our connection, our humanness, and see how much alike we are. That will empower you and inspire you and will help you not feel alone in your journey as an educator. Hayden Hurst of the Atlanta Falcons, he plays tight end for the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. He has a foundation called the Hayden Hurst Family Foundation. Hayden has dealt with anxiety and depression, and he set up the foundation to support children and adolescents. I'm teaming up with the foundation to bring my In Focus social emotional learning curriculum into various schools that they are supporting through donations, bringing that curriculum to schools. So mental health is getting into schools. But Hayden has been very vulnerable and real. And this is what he said in relationship to Dak Prescott and the sports reporter's comment that he was weak. Hayden Hurst comments in USA Today article, oh, you've got to be strong. You've got to be a leader. You can't show weakness. But it is so courageous to come out and talk about that stuff when other people won't. I think it takes more courage to come out and talk about it than to sit and not talk about it. It's going to save a ton of lives. And that's so true. Both of these comments from Dak Prescott and Hayden Hurst are about leadership. And that's what we're going to be working on. That hopefully you'll spread this message of what it means to be a true leader in this world. The cost of the leadership training is only $50 per month for 6 months. October 25th is probably the end of April. And we won't be meeting for 2 months in December, or maybe the month of December. I'm not sure. We'll maybe have one meeting then. The low price is because the training will be developed as we go and will be changed based on your needs and feedback. Here's a few comments from my 2-day workshop, and this is just going to be even more than that in terms of what you can get from it. I left the workshop with a full heart, feeling inspired to support my students next year, as well as to seek further healing in my own life. Thank you for creating a safe and wonderful space for me to learn and grow. I felt heard and valued during the workshop. I felt safe and was able to trust the process. I took risks and shared things I normally would not share. My love of teaching is renewed. The workshop changed my teaching and my life. I was so touched and would highly recommend this workshop to all. Thank you for changing my life forever. What an amazing transformational weekend. The content is what is missing in the educational system. It is so incredibly valuable. So these teachers received this experience from 2 days, again, my 2-day training. And again, this is just going to be maybe even more of that over a 6-month period. You don't have to be using my InFocus books curriculum to be part of this training, but I might make some reference to it during the training. And I will be making references to the 3 levels of the brain that InFocus talks about. And some of the experiences we'll be having, we'll go back and talk about where we are in terms of our brain. This is a page in the InFocus curriculum. Again, you don't need to have this curriculum, but I do want to point out to those teachers and educators using it that we'll be highlighting much of this training will be about teacher self-reflection, like this question, how did your family deal with conflicts? Because the more you can learn about yourself, the more you'll be able to model these skills and to truly lead other people. A lot of the training or part of the training will be about mining the gold out of your challenges. There's so much wisdom and wealth in those challenges, and out of those challenges where gold lies will give you the ability to really lead, to develop a deep root system and really be a leader. Just to review what I shared earlier, I have 21 years as an elementary school teacher, so I know the world of teachers, and I have had 25 years as a social worker. I've been working in SEL and education for the past 35 years. I was a licensed teacher for 33 years. I'm a licensed social worker, a family therapist with training in trauma, play therapy, EMDR, which is a trauma treatment, neuroscience, and attachment. And I've been doing teacher trainings for the past 21 years. Actually, it's 22 years in the form of 1-day, 2-day, and 5-day trainings. Scientists did an experiment in the desert. They created an artificial biome. And all the trees were falling over. And what they learned is that trees need wind to develop deep root systems. In other words, they need challenge in their life to develop deep root systems. And I think we're the same way as human beings. We need challenge in our life to really grow. And that wisdom, that developing a deep root system not only gives us a stability in life to weather storms, but it also gives us a deep wisdom that will help us be a leader in SEL. We need equal amounts of challenge and support to grow, and that's why being a part of this group is so important. So the challenges, you can use the challenges to really grow. A tree with strong roots laughs at storms. This might be you starting out in this training, and this will be you hopefully at the end of the training. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in jail for speaking out against the apartheid in South Africa. He said that 27 years in jail caused him to have to go inward and self-reflect, and that it changed him profoundly as a man and deepened his self-awareness about himself. When he got out, he eventually became president of South Africa, brought whites and blacks together, and broke down the apartheid. So this leadership training, I see the same thing of it causing us, encouraging us to go inward and really mine the gold and grow and change so we can become SEL leaders in the world. If you'd like to contact me, you can find me at the Teaching Heart Institute. And I invite you to respond to me as soon as you can if you're interested in the training, and I'll put you on the list. And you can respond to my newsletter this is in, or go to my website and contact me too. But I hope you consider being in this training. I think it will be a unique and transformational experience for you, and I'd love to be able to support you this year in growing and becoming an SEL leader. Take care.